Hello everyone, welcome to Arbor Day. I'd like to begin with the Girl Scouts of Troop 2398 will now lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag is right back over here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Good afternoon. I am Tom Schmidt, member of the Tree Conservation Advisory Commission, here on behalf of the Arbor Day Planning Committee, Supervisor Lockerman, Councilman Esposito, Councilwoman Howitt, Councilwoman Siegel, Highway Superintendent Paganelli, Town Clerk Diane Quast, distinguished current and former town officials, family, friends, and neighbors. Welcome to Yorktown's annual Arbor Day celebration. Arbor Day is a vital Yorktown event. 2025 will be Yorktown's 15th annual Modern Day celebration. However, Arbor Day in Yorktown goes back over 100 years. What is Arbor Day? It is a day when we celebrate trees. What makes trees so important? Trees provide food for both animals and humans. They provide shelter for many animals. They take in carbon dioxide and give off oxygen. Important activities to counter climate change. Trees provide us with shade. They cool us down. They hold down soil, thereby reducing soil erosion. They contribute to the beauty of our town. Arbor Day was first celebrated in Nebraska in 1872. It is now celebrated throughout the country, and this year is Yorktown's 14th year as a Tree City USA community. What does it take to be a Tree City community? It requires having a tree board, having a tree ordinance, having a forestry budget of $2 per capita, and having an annual Arbor Day celebration. All of this means that Yorktown is committed to our trees. Our newest Tree City USA sign is displayed in front of the lectern, right there. Many of you have probably seen similar signs posted around town. In fact, there's one in front of the commuter parking lot right next door, over that way. This year we are proud to feature our annual poster contest as drawn by the 4th and 5th graders. We received poster entries from Compound, Ben Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and St. Patrick's Elementary Schools, as well as 1010 Recreation before and after school program. This year's theme is the Sugar Maple. We also have the Girl Scouts from Troop 2398 who will help us plant a new red maple tree from Yorktown's Tree Nursery. We would like to acknowledge and thank the Lions Club for their generous contribution to our Arbor Day Fund, Con Edison for providing seedlings to plant. Please visit Con Ed's table afterward. Please give all of these people and organizations a round of applause now. Thank you. Before I introduce Supervisor Lachterman, who will read Yorktown's Arbor Day proclamation, I would like to acknowledge and thank the following people. Fellow members of the Arbor Day Planning Committee, John, Robin, Nancy, and Ian of the Planning Department. Without their hard work, this event would not be possible. Jim Marano, our Park Superintendent, and his crew, who set up everything for this celebration and planted our tree. Please give all these people a round of applause. Now I invite Supervisor Lachterman to speak.
Thank you, Tom.
Yep, welcome ahead.
All right. So, you know, it's great to see a nice showing out here, but especially seeing a showing of families. It is so important that we, you know, bring the knowledge of what trees are to our children, get them to appreciate it, because we know that there are cycles to trees. There's cycles to all of the land. Yorktown years ago was farmland. I've seen pictures of property that 50, 60 years ago was still being farmed that today is a immature forest. And it's so important that we know about the trees, the forestry plan, to make sure that we have the right trees in our town and take care of them. And this is something that I don't think is taught enough nowadays. I went to school in an agricultural school up in Cobleskill, had a lot of friends who were forestry majors, and it's just, there's so much information there, and it's really great that we're able to do our part in passing some of this on. I thank Con Ed for giving us actually the opportunity to be able to plant as well, which is a great activity. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of success with them, but we're going to try again this year, and we're going to try to move forward with it. So I'd like to read our Arbor Day proclamation on this 25th day of April, 2025. Whereas Arbor Day, which began in Nebraska in 1872, is now observed throughout the nation and world, and whereas celebrating Arbor Day has been a tradition in Yorktown for more than 100 years, and whereas Arbor Day in Yorktown is designed to recognize the benefits trees provide and facilitate tree planting in town parks and open spaces, and whereas this year's volunteer activity under the auspices of the Tree Conservation Advisory Commission was the expansion of the town's tree nursery, which is used for adding and replenishing trees on Yorktown-owned properties. An inventory of more than 100 trees and shrubs were added to the nursery, including the red maple tree now planted here at Yorktown Town Hall for today's ceremony. And whereas this year's poster contest theme is the sugar maple, the sugar maple is incredibly important to New York, holding the title of the state tree and being a cornerstone of its maple syrup industry. It is a vital part of the state's heritage, contributing to both economic activity and ecological health. New York ranks second in the nation for maple production, with the sugar maple being the primary tree for sap extraction and syrup production. And whereas trees in our town increase property value, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and now therefore be it resolved that I, as duly elected town supervisor of Yorktown, Edward A. Lachterman, along with the town board members of Yorktown, proclaim Friday, April 25th, 2025, as Arbor Day in the town of Yorktown, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support our trees and woodlands, and be it resolved that everyone is invited to attend our Arbor Day ceremony at 4 p.m. at the Yorktown Town Hall. And I will set my hand to signature here, if I could find my pen, and we will well, I have the red pen. There you go. Oh, thank you. That's good. I'd like to present that to the tree committee. I need to. All right. So before I introduce our next speaker, I would also like to, give a shout out to Assemblyman Slater, who, when he was in my position, started the tree nursery and found the home for it in Willow Park, working with the Tree Advisory Board. And it's such a great step towards what we need to do with our trees and have that. And also for Jim Maturano Jr., who last year we planted some trees up at Downing Park from our tree nursery as well. So not only are we planting the trees to grow them, but we're finding some great spots for them. And Jim comes to me often with, hey, I have a great spot for something, and we have some new trees that we could get for raising in our nursery. So as we look at that as a town and as a collective, we will keep moving forward and do our duty. Thank you, guys. Okay. At this time, we'd like to bring up Keith Shepard of the Tree Committee to read the Arbor Day Foundation's recognition letter to Yorktown as a Tree City USA community. The letter never came. Well, you could.
I'll say something about maple trees.
Put your glasses on.
Hi, my name's Keith Shepard. I'm on the Tree Commission Advisory Committee. And the letter for the Tree City didn't come, so I'll just kind of wing it. But basically, what the Tree City is recognizing that throughout the whole country, there's only about 4,000 cities that are recognized as a Tree City USA. So it really is something special, just not something to be taken for granted. And as the administration has changed in the town, each one has embraced the idea of protecting the trees, enhancing the trees, developing the trees, preserving the trees, and we're progressing very nicely. Matt Slater helped start off the tree nursery, and we now have about 250 trees that are being grown, and we have a lot of plans to replant them in the town parks, along streets, and it couldn't have been done without all the support that goes into becoming a Tree City USA. So I wanted to say a few things about a sugar maple. Ed mentioned how it's very important for maple syrup, and what I want, a little takeaway that everybody should have is that when you decide that it's selecting a tree that you want to plant at your own house, you really need to know how tall it's going to get and how wide it's going to get. It's a very common thing where people, oh, I really like that tree, and they plant it 10 feet from the house, and then 20 years go by and the tree's not in the right place. So the idea is to select the tree, plant it in the right location so that it can mature into the shape that it's supposed to be. So a maple tree can get 60 to 75 feet tall. It can have a spread of 40 to 50 feet. So that's really like a basic mature maple tree. But you have champion maple trees. There's one in New London, Connecticut, that's 124 feet tall and has a spread of 86 feet. So you really want to give a sugar maple or a maple a lot of room to grow. The other thing to realize is that when you're having your maple syrup with your pancakes or on your ice cream, it took 40 gallons of sap boiled down to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. That's why it costs so much, right? So it's a really special sweeten that was recognized all the way back in 1608, 1609 when John Smith settled in Virginia. One of the first things he realized was that the Indians were bartering with this sweet liquid, and that was maple syrup. So this is a very traditional product. The other part of a maple tree that you'll recognize, because not everybody's going to grow a maple tree to tap and try to boil down 40 gallons of sap, is how pretty the leaves are. When you're driving around in October and you start seeing these maple trees turning yellow and orange and red, it really stands out, and you kind of slow down when you drive and you're like, whoa, look at that tree. It's really a special thing. So you fit into the category of a leaf peeper, all right? So now they have tours in Vermont, leaf peeping tours, where that's what the bus is designated as. So, you don't have to wait until autumn to be a leaf peeper. So I suggest that you go out into the woods, take a look at the different trees that are growing around you. Realize that here in the springtime, I've been doing tree work for 45 years, so I kind of you can say I'm in tune with it. But at this time of year, you realize more oxygen is being made. All these leaves coming out are making oxygen. They're also releasing all kinds of terpenes and aerosols, all which are known to help you with your breathing. So it really is healthy to go out in the woods, take a walk, take a forest bath, they call it, and enjoy nature. And today we're celebrating that. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to announce the winners of our poster contest, along with Assemblyman Matt Slater and a representative from Dana's office. I'm sorry. Acacia Moriello from Dana Levenberg's office. If you guys can come up front. And I will say, on behalf of New York, you do not need to go to Vermont to be a leaf peeper. We have plenty of leaves here, and Yorktown is also home to White Oak Farm, the southernmost New York commercial maple producer, right down the road over here. You get to the traffic light at the end of 118, hang a right, and it's right there. And they produce maple syrup, different maple products, and they even have beehives where they produce their own honey. So you could come right here to Yorktown, do your peeping and and get your maple syrup. So as we call up our winners, if you could come and sort of stand behind your poster, that would be great. And for the 4th grade, first place for our poster contest is Cassie Specht. Cassie? All right.
Grade winner.
You want to go give her the...
Here,
How you doing?
you could give her ours too. Okay. Up.
Thank you. That's
All right. Say good job.
And we have our official poster child, Elizabeth Slater, handing out our certificates. 2nd place in the 4th grade, Bella Nogueira. Bella, where are you? Thank you, sweetie.
Give it to Bella. Good job, Bella.
And coming in 3rd for the 4th graders, Haley Morris.
Hey, Haley. Oh, sorry. There you go. I know. Listen up. Great job.
So I will say that judging these is not an easy thing. I tried to get someone to help me with the judging out of our planning office, and she told me, no way, too hard, and left it. So anyone who did not get recognized today, you will get a certificate, and just great work all around. I know a couple that I voted for that didn't make it into the batch, so it was a very hard competition, and very, very great job by everyone who participated. So give everyone who participated a hand. All right, let's get to the 5th graders. For first place, Elena Gamiello.
Yay. There you go.
Cutie.
Good job, Elena.
Go. Thank you.
Say good job.
Good job.
Congratulations. You got a bunch of... Oh, sorry.
Okay, and in 2nd place, Joseph Kartika. Joey. Good job, Joe. Where's your poster, buddy?
Right here. No, it's right here. Oh, that one?
Oh, right on? Okay.
Perfect.
And coming in 3rd, Amelia Chang. Amelia.
Good job, Amelia. Great job.
All right, so why don't you go right behind your poster, and I think they're getting some photos real quick.
Smile and say trees. There you go.
So anyone else that was here that participated, please see Robin Steinberg. Robin, she has other certificates for you, and we could get those out. You want it back, or you want me to come? You want it back, or you want me to keep going?
Tell them if they're in town hall.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Susan. And as Councilwoman Siegel just reminded me, all of your posters are in Town Hall. So anyone who did a poster, it's hanging up in the boardroom. These will be turned into banners to be hung up on our streets next year for the month of April in honor of Arbor Day and Earth Day. And maybe if anyone does not want to pick up their poster, we'll see if our White Oak Farm would like them, since it is the sugar maple that's being honored. Yeah, so we will look into that for you. Okay, so now we have something great. We have a tree that's planted, but there is a ceremony, and we would like to invite the Girl Scouts to help us plant the new maple tree, and then we'll do a ceremonial planting of the dogwood. Maple, sorry, red maple, yes. The Girl Scouts will be spreading soil gathered from the 4 corners of our town, and we'll say a few words about the soil gathered. it's all wrapped up.
Dale Saltzman is the one that came up with this. Yeah, a little folklore.
So we're now going to do a ceremonial one, but I did have a request. I was asked if any of the winners that are here, after their poster is turned into a banner, would like to send those up to Albany with Assemblyman Slater. Would anyone like to send their banners up to Albany to hang up in the Capitol? Yeah? Yes? We got one yes. What about you guys? Yes?
Not quite sure.
All right.
Pretty cool to me.
You'll have the banners that'll be made and hung up on
We'll bring them back
in the middle of
to you.
town.
Don't worry. We'll bring them back to you.
Okay. We'll get them
We'll
back.
bring them back to you.
Okay. Well, what they'll do is they'll bring them up to Albany for display, and then they'll bring them back down. Okay.
So both posters will be displayed in both places.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. All right. So now we're going to do a little ceremonial shovel. If the town officials, elected officials that are here, could join Jim Materano.
You want to just throw some dirt on the tree with me real quick, and then we'll go? Okay.
You know, we should do next year is have someone with a microphone sing sort of
Yeah, Dale.
Yeah, so it's still, you can still make the banner, and you can still, it'll
I
still
do a winter solstice with Dale.
yeah. And then it got marked up.
I don't know. I think people actually on the top.
They run in Hopkins Corners Conference.
So at this time, I'd like to thank everyone for attending. We do have the trees from Con Ed. We have some refreshments, and we also need to just give a special shout out to our Superintendent of Parks and Recreation, Jim Materano, who is getting married tomorrow afternoon. Congratulations, Jimmy. All right, thank you all for your attendance, and thank you for keeping Arbor Day alive.